There's a cop who may be fired for tasering a black man to death. Let me give you some background to this story. Let's put up the picture of this black male who was killed. All right. This actually happened on October 13th. Somebody called the cops on Mr. Jim Rogers. That's Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers was riding a bike left on a curb for basically anyone to take. While the bike's owner was intending to sell it, she reported and said she likely would have given it to Mr. Rogers for free, no cost whatsoever. When Rogers returned the bike where he found it, he sat down to smoke a cigarette. Let's put a picture up of the officer who tasered Mr. Rogers. All right. When the police arrived, Officer Keith Edmonds immediately escalated the situation and used the taser on Mr. Rogers. All right. Let's go to the screenshot of what witnesses saw that day. Edmond used the taser 10 times. Keep that picture up. 10 times on the individual Jim Rogers. Onlookers had described Rogers during the incident as non-violent and not aggressive, and they did not understand why this was happening to a non-aggressive individual. Rogers went into cardiac arrest soon after the attack, died the next day at the hospital. He was only 54 years of age. It gets deeper. The local coroner, all right? The local coroner comes out and rules the death accidental. But the internal police investigation pointed to, and I quote, procedural failures by the cops involved, multiple. According to the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, the city's police union took issue with those reports. The death sparked days of protest and even an editorial by the city's largest newspaper demanding answers. In December, the highest ranking police officer on duty that day retired ahead of possible disciplinary action. I do absolutely agree with the decision based on what we know now, which is what the public knows. It is certainly a negative on the officers and on the Pittsburgh Bureau of Police, said Beth Pittinger with the Citizens Police Review Board. Pittinger pointed out just because these officers may be fired, that doesn't necessarily mean they will face criminal charges. And that lies your systemic and structural issue right there. Here's the reality. You actually don't need massive police reform. I would like to see it. I push